Hey everyone, Christy from Worldschool, Chronicles. Today I'm going to talk about dealing with sickness. It's happened to us a few times over the years, and it's not always fun. So, first thing I want to talk about is insurance. Some people believe that you don't need insurance, and a lot of people are hard advocates that you do. I used to be on the side of no insurance, and then had an incident, and now I'm a hard advocate for insurance. So I'll tell you what happened. In 2013, we were in the Dominican Republic, living in a tiny little barrio, and I got dengue. I had 3 kids. I was a single mom, and I got dengue. So started out, I felt like I had the flu. And I wasn't getting better though, and I wasn't able to keep anything down. I was really dizzy. I had a lot of aches and pains, and I couldn't even sit up, and I had extreme fever. And so it's 30 plus degrees outside, and I'm wrapped up in 3 blankets because I'm freezing. And I can't even keep down water, and I'm so sick, and I've got kids. Anyways, the neighbor lady came over, a friend of mine, and she said, "You need to go to the hospital." And I was like, no, because they go for every little sniffle. And so I said no. A few days later, she came back with her husband, and they got me on a motorcycle. I couldn't even sit up. I was so sick. And then took me to the hospital. I got blood work done, and they said that my white blood cells were really elevated, and they gave me a bag of fluid and sent me home. Well, went home. I felt better because I wasn't as dehydrated, and I felt a little bit better. But then 24 hours later, like the next day, I felt way worse. And so my friend came over to see how I was, and she could see that I was worse than I was the day before. So they got me back on the moto, took me back to the hospital, did more blood work, and my white blood cell count was even higher than it was the day before. And so they said, we're admitting you. And finally I was diagnosed with dengue. And I was told that the only thing I could take was acetaminophen for the pain, and drink lots of juice. So I spent the night and the next day there in a public hospital. So a public hospital in the Dominican Republic there were 12 beds in one room. I could literally reach over and touch the person next to me, and zero sanitation. There were 3 toilets to share for 24 people. You have to supply your own bedding. You have to supply your own vomit bucket. I had to buy my own bags of fluid for the IV and the tubing. I had to have somebody with me at all times, because if I needed anything, they don't provide food or drinks or anything. So if I needed water or a drink or something to eat, I had to send somebody downstairs to the cafeteria with money to buy it for me. I had to pay for everything and every little thing, So, like, they would come, and I had to get the person who was with me to go to the pharmacy and buy 10 tablets of acetaminophen for me for the day, so that they were on the little table beside my bed. And so finally the next day, this doctor comes in and she said, "How are you feeling?" And I said, "Oh, I'm feeling so good. I can go home." And I wasn't feeling good, but I said that because I knew that I could rest in my own bed at home, take acetaminophen, and drink juice the same as I could in the hospital. And so I went home. It took me 3 months to feel back to normal. I'd lost 20 pounds in that whole time. I was so sick. Like, you know you're really sick when you go to the bank on payday and there's lineups out the door. I was near the door, so I was really far back in the line, and I'm standing there waiting, and the guy at the counter says, "That lady right there, you come next." So you know that you don't look good when they tell you to come next. So but I think that if I had insurance, I could have gotten evacuated back to Canada and had maybe better care, at least have support. So after I left the hospital, if it wasn't for the neighbors and the friends that I had made in our barrio, I don't know what would have happened, because I had 3 kids. So one neighbor sold fruits and vegetables on a truck, and he would bring me fruits and vegetables and to make juice, and I asked him how much, and he's like, "Oh, no, this is for you to get better. We need you better. We need you better." Okay. And then my friend Ramona, the one that took me to the hospital, you know, she would come over and bring lunch, and other people would come and bring meals as well for myself and the kids. Somebody was coming over and doing our laundry. Other people were coming over and helping to clean the house. Somebody else was taking my daughter to go get groceries once a week. So it was really, really helpful, and I really appreciated that they you know, looked after us. And that's why I really try to find places in with the locals, because once they get to know you, they really look after you. And I'll cover that more on another vlog on finding local low-cost places to rent when you go places. But for now, we're gonna stick with this. So another thing that I do is, as well, when you are looking for insurance, a lot of insurance companies will only cover your airfare, your flight, that kind of thing. So you need to make sure that the company that you pick covers the activities that you're going to be doing while you're there. So for instance, a lot of them don't cover sports. So for instance, if, let's say, you're in Belize and you decide you and your family want to go horseback riding, and somebody gets hurt on the horse, and you go to claim and they don't cover horseback riding, you can't claim that. So you're stuck with that bill. So make sure that they cover the activities that you want to do and that you might want to do. Another thing, I have a first aid kit, and it's got, you know, it's got cough syrup, bandages, calamine lotion, acetaminophen, ibuprofen, allergy tablets, all kinds of things like that. And I found when you go anywhere where motorcycle riding is common, getting a burn on your leg from the exhaust pipe is also common, and it's also common in some of those countries to get infected really easily. And so I found in a lot of the health food stores you can find this calendula gel. It works amazing on burns, so I always pack that. And that helps us with any little things that come up. And then another one is to make sure that you get enough sleep and eat lots of fruits and vegetables and eat properly. So for us, when we go places, my son's autistic, and I have MS. So for us, if we go out, for example, a day at the beach, we both need the next day to recuperate. So we can't do the beach today and the market tomorrow and this the next day and this the next day. We really have to kind of pace ourselves, and it helps us to stay healthier because we're well rested, we're better able to combat any sicknesses that come our way, I guess you could say. So we try to, I don't want to say limit how much we go out, but we spend a lot of time getting to know our little area and doing small day trips out. We eat a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. We do all of that kind of stuff. Another thing is, when you first come to a new country, don't drink the tap water, even like for brushing your teeth or rinsing fruit, and only buy fruit that you can peel. So like oranges, bananas, cantaloupe, things like that. If you are going to buy apples, make sure that you wash it well with bottled water and peel it with a knife, just until your stomach kind of accommodates to the germs and stuff that are in the area where you are. And make sure that any water that you buy comes in a bottle and the plastic seal on the top is connected and sealed. Because in a lot of these developing countries, they will sell like water in a plastic bag, and they're a lot cheaper than a bottle of water, but you really have to be aware. Haiti's a really big culprit for this. So people, because they're really poor, will go around and collect all these empty water bags off the street, and they will cut the top off and fill it with water and use one of those bag sealers, and then they will sell you that water for the same price as a purified water, but you don't know what you're getting, and then you end up getting really sick. So when you first get there, until you know who's safe to buy water from and who's not, just get bottled water. The other one that's really, really important, and I've learned over the years, is to lower your stress levels. So if you're one of these really high-strung people who gets really upset about everything, you know, like, oh my God, we're gonna be late for the bus, oh my God, oh my God. You need to learn how to relax and just kind of take things as they go. Some people tell me I'm a little too easygoing now. I used to be that really stressful person, and now I'm just kind of laid back, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So like if we're, for instance, taking the bus and we're gonna go to the beach, you know, and a bus comes and it's full. Okay, we'll wait for the next one. I'm not in any hurry. You know, and because I'm less stressed, I'm less likely to get sick. So that helps as well. And the other thing is really important, is to get to know your neighbors. Wherever you are, get to know your neighbors, at least a few, you know. I really learned that when we were in the barrio. We were in the roughest barrio in the city. Even moto taxis wouldn't enter that place at night if they weren't from there. So we got to know the neighbors on our street, and it was really helpful. And even the last time when we were over there, I lived in a different little barrio, but really got to know the neighbors in the area, and my little one got sick. And my older one was sleeping, but he got really quite sick at night. And so I ran over to the neighbor ladies, and I put my face up to her window, and I'm like, Daya! And she's like, what? The baby's sick. Well, her and her husband took the baby to the hospital so that I could stay with my son. They got him a shot to take his fever down and help with the vomiting and stuff, and then they brought him home. But it could have been a lot worse if I didn't know my neighbors, because now it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I need to find a moto taxi in this tiny little village where after 10 o'clock there's nobody. I need to find a moto taxi to take us to the next town over where the hospital is. I need to wake up my my 6-year-old and get them both ready to take on a motorcycle by myself. So one's going to be sitting in front of me, in between me and the driver, and I've got to have his legs up over mine so that his feet don't get caught. And then I've got to hold the baby, and just, I don't like to think about what it would be like. So I like to befriend my neighbors, and to me, having that support system is really helpful if we get sick. So that's my advice for dealing with sickness while you're on the road, as well as while we're traveling, like on the airplane and things like that. I like to have Ziploc baggies, like empty Ziploc baggies, just in case anybody's sick. We can put dirty clothes in them and zip it up and it's not stinky. We can use it to catch vomit. We can use it to put poopy diapers in, whatever. That's helpful on the plane or the bus or the train or whatever mode of transportation you're going on. Gravel's a good thing to carry with you just in case one of the kids is sick while you're actually in travel mode. So yeah, those are some of the things. If you have any other things that you'd like to add, I'm not one for essential oils and things like that, but if that's your thing, by all means do it. So that's sickness on the road. Keep tuning in, because I keep adding more vlogs every couple of days. If you like what you're hearing, click that subscribe button down there and follow our channel. Thanks for watching Worldschool Chronicles.